So I had a busy day at work yesterday and didn't get a chance to watch the Path of Exile 2 video yet on the release for Dawn of the Hunt, but I want to live react to it and see what's going on. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2.
Hi, Jonathan.
Welcome to GGG Live.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a little over 3 months since we launched Early Access, so it's about time for our first major content update. Today, we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, which launches on April 4th. Twitch drops are enabled on today's
April 4th. So that is next Saturday. I'll look at my calendar first. I don't know what days I live anymore. So that'll be Friday, April 4th when this releases. Okay.
live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Executioner's Guillotine finisher effect.
Well, now I wish I would have watched this live, but this is life. This is
Now, in
life.
today's stream, we're going to take you on a deep dive into the new Dawn of the Hunt update. We'll cover a new class, 5 new Ascendancy classes, and huge expansions on character systems like unique items and support gems. After that, it's on to the in-game improvements, including changes to systems, a bunch of new encounters, and lots of other content.
So he's at 5 new Ascendancies. So we had 6 classes, 2 Ascendancies each. So we were at 12, roughly 12 classes, let's say, with 5 new ones. So we're going to have 17 different play styles, let's say, that you can do. And remember, this is an early access game. Early access. So new Ascendancies for, well, we have a new class, new Ascendancies for existing classes. So does that mean, hold on, let me go back. I gotta read into that part.
Now in today's stream, we're going to take you on a deep dive into the new Dawn of the Hunt update. We'll cover a new class, 5 new Ascendancy classes.
So he said a new class and 5 new Ascendancy classes. New Ascendancies for existing classes. Okay.
And huge expansions on character systems like unique items and support gems. After that, it's on to the in-game improvements, including changes to systems, a bunch of new encounters, and lots of other content. We're going to finish up today with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile 2's game directors, myself and Mark, your questions from Twitch chat. Now we have a lot to cover today, so let's get started with a trailer for Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt.
Trailer, okay.
We as Mary are guided by the Spirit. It provides prey, shelter, even love. But for me, one day, all that were changed.
Tinkerbell? Is that Tinkerbell?
The Spirit, it showed me something. Something forbidden. And to defend all I loved, I used it. I lost everything that day. But fate weren't finished with me yet. I'll right the wrongs I've done. I'll do what I must, no matter the cost. I will hear the Spirit once more.
Oh. She gets a mount? She gets a freaking mount? That's so fucking cool. That's so fucking cool. I want a mount. I really do hope the mount is not class specific. Please allow any class to have a mount. That would be so cool.
I shall bathe in your blood.
What was that? Hold on. Damn, look at this crossbow. This looks sick as fuck. I want it. I want that. Okay. So the 5 new ascendancies here. So we have this one that we got a teaser for earlier this year. We have the Necromancer? I'm assuming Necromancer? Some sort of warrior class. Then the 2 ascendancies for... Right, I'm assuming this is ascendancy for the huntress here. Because they wouldn't just give her one. And they're both females, so I'm assuming. So not even, going into the details of the huntress, they already got me. I'm already going to be there day one. Might have to talk to my wife about taking the day off from work that day. That's a conversation for later, though. We'll see. We'll see how she feels about that.
Now, as you can see, in Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the first new class since early access to POE2, the Huntress. The
Legit, though, I wish they would have done the druid. That's what I'm waiting for, the druid.
Huntress is a spear-wielding Asmeri warrior. Born into a society with strict traditions, she was exiled from her homeland after using the power of a skill gem to defend her village. As a dexterous...
So she saves her life, and then she gets kicked out? Bullshit.
Spear user, she specializes in both melee and ranged combat, dashing into and out of battle.
Okay.
Spears have extended range and a short dash, but unlike other melee weapons, you can also throw them. In order to make a hybrid ranged and melee character work, we had to do a lot of thinking about ways to make it fun to both enter and exit melee range. The first skill you will get as a huntress is Whirling Slash. As well as striking in a circle around you, this skill creates a whirlwind that blinds your enemies. Leaving the whirlwind will make it explode. The more Whirling Slash is used, the bigger the whirlwind, and the bigger the explosion. Once you're out of there, you'll want to follow up with something ranged. Whip your spear around to shoot twisters towards your foes. These twisters bounce off walls and can hit enemies multiple times.
I wonder if they automatically track your enemies. Is it random? Or there's like a support gem that's gonna need in order to track those enemies around you. We'll see how that plays out.
You can also throw twisters inside a whirlwind to shoot out extra tornadoes that do way more damage.
Wait, what?
You can also throw twisters inside a whirlwind to shoot out extra tornadoes that do...
That's awesome. Again, I wonder if you need extra gems or support gems to do this, but regardless, that's pretty cool.
Way more damage. In her offhand, the Huntress will usually want to hold...
Grant skill parry. Is that new? I don't feel like I've seen parry. I think that's new.
Hold a buckler, which allows you to do a new skill, parry. While holding down parry, your character will counterattack any incoming attack from monsters near you, stunning them. In addition, the monsters will take extra attack damage from your follow-up strike. Some specific skills are designed to be used after a parry and have extra effects. Disengage is a skill that does a quick jump back, damaging enemies in front of you, and it can be used to interrupt other actions, like dodge roll. If you use it against a parried enemy though, it causes an explosion and gives you a frenzy charge.
Okay.
Just be careful. If you parry too much, you're going to get stunned and possibly killed. You can combine this combo with Whirling Slash. Slash, parry, disengage, and you'll get an explosion from the disengage and the whirling slash.
Very nice.
The Huntress also has a variety of elemental spear throw attacks. You could use lightning spear to bounce lightning between your foes. Or you could throw explosive spears into the ground. These spears take a while to detonate, but when they do, they'll incinerate anyone caught in the blast. All spear throws on the Huntress can also be empowered by frenzy charges. For example, explosive spears will do an even larger explosion and leave fire on the ground. And these empowered versions can activate even more combos. Using Whirling Slash over ground fire will suck it into the whirlwind, adding fire to the explosion.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Using Twisters inside a fire whirlwind will shoot out fire tornadoes as well.
Ooh.
And you can do similar combos with ice and lightning too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lightning tornadoes in a small map. This will probably be really good and really useful.
Now, a key aspect of hunting is exhausting your foes by causing blood loss. This skill is Rake, which dashes towards your target and unleashes a deadly slash, opening up wounds on your enemies. Follow up with Disengage and watch them bleed out as they run towards you. On the health bar of monsters, you can see how much blood loss the enemy has experienced, and the Huntress has skills to take advantage of this. For example, using Blood Hunt will thrust forward and cause a bloody explosion. The more blood loss, the bigger the explosion. If you want to cause bigger bleeds, try out Rapid Assault. The final hit of this multi-hit combo will stick a spear into your enemy for a big bleed.
Now, I wonder how that's going to interact with, like, bosses. Like, if you stab them, will they just keep bleeding slowly over time? Or is it like, after 5 seconds, the bleeding stops? That's what I really wonder, because I feel like if you can can you stack it, you know? If you stack it, are you able to make bigger explosions? Or are you just going to be able to do it once and that's it? That's pretty cool, though.
Now, Explosive Spear and Rapid Assault both result in leaving spears behind, either in the ground or in enemies. But there are other skills that leave spears around too, like Storm Lance, that leaves an electrical spear that arcs towards enemies. But what can you do with all these spears? Detonate them, of course. Thunderous Leap will allow you to jump onto and explode any spears, either in the ground or in your enemies.
Okay.
Now, as well as hunting animals, the Huntress also has the ability to work with them. While fighting any beast, you have the ability to tame it and use it as a companion. You can only have one companion at a time.
Any? He said any, right? He said any.
But it will keep the mods that were on it. Try to find a rare beast with good mods to take full advantage of your ability to tame them.
I mean, I'm out of words. That's fucking amazing. If Diablo 4 devs are watching this right now, they are literally shitting bricks. This is amazing. Just this alone is amazing. And it makes it really cool. Now the question is, can I do that with any class? Or any weapon? And how many? Well, he said one beast. So anyways, we'll go on. That's really cool.
Now this
can he die?
is just the beginning of the Huntress. We've really tried to make the hybrid ranged and melee gameplay work for this class by having a huge amount of synergy between ranged and melee options. There are 22 new skills available for the Huntress. By endgame, you'll be slinging hundreds of insanely powerful spears, sending forth spirit animals and summoning the might of Solaris from the sky. But we still haven't talked about ascendancy classes yet. What can the Huntress ascend into?
Yeah, I wonder, what could they ascend into? I guess they're right, yeah.
Well, the first ascension class you could choose is the Ritualist.
Okay.
The Ritualist has embraced the darker side of his merry traditions by harnessing the power of animal sacrifice and plague. The Corrupted Life Force skill causes all enemies around you to grow volatile blood boils on their skin.
Ooh.
When those enemies are
They all have smallpox.
slain, the boils will burst, spreading corrupted blood to all
Are we in Texas?
enemies around them.
I know, they don't have smallpox. They have the measles. But they're anti-vaxxers, so.
The Ritualist also excels in taking advantage of magical trinkets. The Unfurled Finger skill allows you to equip an additional ring on a finger around your neck. Taking Mystic
Did I hear that right? Did he say an extra finger around your neck? A little weird, but okay.
attunement increases the bonuses of all the rings and amulets you have equipped.
Oh shit.
Now this is one of my favorites. As the Whisper's Ask grants you a new skill, Ritual Sacrifice. Use the skill on the corpses of slain rare monsters to absorb the power in their blood, to give you one of their modifiers for a short time.
Oh, that's cool.
Specialize further into Ritualistic Sacrifice with As the Whispers Demand, which allows you to perform that skill on yourself instead of a corpse. Cut your own hand, sacrificing some of your own blood to empower yourself.
Oh, that's really
The
cool.
Amazon Ascension is for those looking to hunt
That looks sick. Kind of reminds me of Nidalee from League of Legends, though.
more than
That's
just
pretty cool.
beasts. Trained as an elite guard to the most important Asmeri elders, the Amazon will use more traditional fighting techniques mastered to perfection. The Predatory Instinct skill will cause you to reveal weaknesses in the defenses of rare and unique enemies, causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots represented on their life bars.
Oh yeah, you can. So let me go back real quick. So you can see here. I apologize if you have color blindness, but here this shade of red from the end through Tyrant is a little lighter. Then it gets like a darker crimson red, and then it gets light again, and then right around here is where that ends, and then it gets dark red again. That's pretty cool.
Enemies, causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots represented on their life bars. While using Elemental Infusion, any charges you consume will infuse your weapon with elemental power, causing any projectile attacks to explode on impact. The Critical Strike skill is as simple as it sounds. It takes your excess accuracy and gives it to you as critical strike chance. Additionally,
Straightforward.
you have skills like Mystic Harvest, which allows your elemental damage to leech life, and as Mary Brew to be able to use either flask to restore both life and mana.
Oh, okay.
So those are the two new ascendancies for the Huntress, but those are not the only ascendancies in Dawn of the Hunt. We've added a new ascension class for 3 of the other existing classes too.
Okay.
First up, for our warriors out there, we have the Smith of Kitava. The warrior is a blacksmith in origin, taught by his father Renly. With this ascension, you can take your smithing skills to new heights by embracing power from the insatiable one himself, Kitava. Smiths of Kitava are master blacksmiths and have the ability to forge their weapon, quite literally. Using the Against the Anvil notable skill, you can enhance your weapon with fiery destruction before any battle. After doing so, your attacks will release explosions on hit for maximum devastation. You can also use the power of Kitava to summon an animated copy of your weapon to fight alongside you. A great blacksmith can do more than just forging their weapon though. Their armor can be enhanced too.
That's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty cool. Trying to think. I just have so many questions on how all this is gonna interact with timings, cooldowns, etc. But it's very exciting to see this.
Now you might think this Ascendancy class tree looks a little abnormal, and you're right. There's a lot of notable skills all disconnected at the bottom there. By taking this point here, which is
Can only use in normal body armor. This passive skill is free to allocate. Okay.
free to assign, your character is unable to equip body armors with mods of any kind. So your body
And body armor grants armor. Also applies to chaos damage taken from hits.
armor must be normal. Sounds like a downside, right?
Body armor grants hits against you have 50% reduced critical damage bonus.
Except now in true blacksmith fashion, you get to craft your own body armor by taking those disconnected notables
Body armor grants 100% increased stun
with
threshold.
your points. If you want your body armor to grant life, take this notable. If you want resistances, take this one. There's so many choices. Think of it like you're crafting your own body armor, just in a more literal sense.
Honestly, I don't feel like that's gonna be. The concept is cool, but I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be a good class. Personally, I like the other side where you can forge your weapon, increase its damage, have a flying weapon with you. That's pretty cool. But armor seems like a waste to me. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I think.
Now, let's move on to those who prefer the reassuring feel of a crossbow in their hands, the mercenary. Alongside the existing Ascension classes, the Gemling Legionnaire and the Witch Hunter, you can now play as the Tactician. The Tactician is a former Blackguard elite. Free from the duties of a Blackguard, he is able to use his training to decimate the monsters of Rayclast and earn a healthy income doing so. This training comes in the form of various skills like suppressing fire, which causes all projectiles to pin enemies. When combined with the right where we want them notable, your pin not only stops your enemies from moving, but stops them from performing actions too, similar to freeze. With a soldier's training, the Tactician also works well cooperatively. Using the whoever pays best notable, you can place multiple banners at once. The watch how we do it skill gives a portion of your weapon's damage to your allies as well. But if that isn't enough, you can also command your army of off-screen archers to unleash hell and carpet an entire area with arrows.
That's actually
Finally,
pretty cool.
Witch players will be able to join their legions by becoming undead themselves. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the Lich Ascension class.
Lich. Okay, so it's not a necromancer, it's a Lich Ascension class.
The Lich is a master of chaos and curses and could sacrifice her life to enhance her energy shield. The Crystalline Phylactery skill allows you to nominate a jewel in which to contain part of your soul, massively increasing
Is this Voldemort? If Voldemort had a wife, this would be her.
its power. There's just one downside to splitting your soul this way though. If you have no energy shield, your mana cost
More. 50% more mana cost if you have no energy shield.
will shoot up. The Necromantic Conduit skill causes you and allies in your presence to have unholy might, granting extra damage as chaos damage. Rupture the Soul makes enemies you curse explode with chaos damage when slain.
Okay.
Dominion over Flesh allows you to apply an additional curse.
Okay.
It's safe to say you'll be the true master of the occult by choosing the Lich class. So Dawn of the Hunt has the Huntress and 5 new Ascension classes, but it doesn't end there. Let's take a look at some of the new skills we've added. Now you may remember we've previously talked about the Raised Spectre skill. It's finally complete and it will be made available in the upcoming expansion. It can be found in the occult skills on the skill gem crafting panel. Raised Spectre is a skill that allows you to trap the soul of almost any monster in the game, which you can then summon in the skill panel.
Oh, that's actually really
Spectres
cool.
cost spirit and will revive automatically if they die, but the spirit cost varies based on the power of the monster. You could summon an army of weaker monsters, or a few of the more powerful monsters.
Are these yours? Are these yours? Holy shit.
You can combine them with your existing skeleton minions, or summon exclusively specters. It's all up to you and how you want to customize your army of the undead. Given that there are hundreds upon hundreds of monster variants in Path of Exile 2, it's safe to say you'll be experimenting with this one for a while. We look forward to seeing which monsters serve you best. Now let's move on.
I want to play both classes. Like, I legit want to play both classes. The Huntress sounds cool. You can have your own monster, you know, be your ally. But, and it keeps its, if I remember correctly, he said to keep their modifiers. So if you find like a rare monster, they keep the modifiers, which is freaking badass. And then here, an army of the undead, literally any mob you kill. I highly doubt it's gonna work with bosses, but if it does, and you get a miniature version of that boss, fucking cool. That is fucking cool.
Move on to our next skill. Since we've been talking about summoning undead so much, let's have a change of pace and summon something a little more alive. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding the Summon Rower skill.
Okay. Summon raw now. Is this so this doesn't pertain to any specific class, right? You can only use bow attacks and throw spears. Okay, harness companion raw that you can ride while you're mounted on a raw. You can only use a bow attack. And throw spears, attacks, run full speed when attacking, and hits against you cause heavy stun buildup. While you aren't mounted, the raw attack your enemies alongside you with its beak, but can be damaged. Okay.
Summon your friendly rower to aid you in combat as a minion. You can also mount your rower in combat at any time, allowing you to move at full speed even while shooting arrows or throwing spears. Be wary though, if you take too much damage while riding your mount, you can be knocked off and get overwhelmed. It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death. On the topic of new ways to enhance your character, let's talk about support gems. Support gems are used to modify your skill gems in meaningful and interesting ways. Currently, we feel that a lot of builds have insufficient options here. To alleviate this, we're adding over 100 new support gems. Hema crystals will enable a new kind of bleed build, turning the damage over time you would have done into explosive Vile crystals. Alignment is a support gem for bow attacks, which can reward skilled players with good positional skills. Caltrops will allow you to litter the battlefield with hazards, slowing your foes as you fling spears through their ranks. But there's plenty more for every playstyle, such as Enormity.
Enormity. So support skills which summon persistent minions. Supported minions are larger, have more life, and deal more damage, but cost significantly more spirit. So Chunky Boy can be even chunkier. Very nice.
Unsteady Tempo.
Supports melee attack skills you use yourself. Attacking with supported skills will cycle through various effects, with the first attack in sequence inflicting hobble on you. The second and third attacks in the sequence will powerfully scale chance to critically hit and overall damage, respectively, at which point the cycle will reset. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Profanity.
You son of a biscuit eating bulldog. No, okay. Support skills you use yourself. Supported skills consume a corpse on you, dealing more chaos damage if they do. Cannot support triggered skills or reservation skills. Oh, is this like explode?
Retaliate.
Support melee attack skills you use yourself. Supported skills gain much more damage the closer you are at being heavily stunned. Okay. That's actually pretty cool.
Syzygy. Yep, that's a real word.
Syzygy. Support slam skills you use yourself. Hits from supported skills are considered crushing blows against enemies which are both ignited and fully armored broken. Hits with a supported skill have heavily stun ignite and fully armored broken. Enemies will intimidate them. Okay. More damage.
And many more. Now we've talked about a new class, new ascendancy classes, new skills, and new support gems. But let's not forget about the core of a true action RPG, the items. To start with, let's talk about uniques. We're adding over 100 new unique items. This time we've made sure to add uniques with a focus on mid and endgame tiers to make sure there are more exciting items.
100 new uniques. That's insane. That is freaking insane.
To find for higher level characters.
Oh, here's that crossbow that I saw at the beginning.
Let's look at some examples. Embrace your inner devil with Chernobog's Pillar. It grants you a large amount of fire damage based on your block chance. The Coming Calamity allows you to become a true master of the elements, granting you all 3 elemental herald skills without costing any spirit.
That's insane. Oh, that's broken.
At the same time, it penalizes enemy resistances. Wastegate is a belt useful for builds using a single resource like Blood Magic or Archmage builds. With this belt, you can use 2 life flasks or 2 mana flasks. It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
Now, we could go through these all day, but we'll leave most of them for you to discover. Suffice to say, though, we
Ooh. Ooh, that looks nice.
want there to be way more cool things to find. Over time, our goal is
Yeah, these look sick.
to add a unique to every single base item type at a minimum, so that you can chance any base in the game. Now, given that we have the Huntress, we have a set of unique spears from early game all the way through to end game as well.
Okay.
One example is Scyther's Spear. which combines bleed and fire in a powerful way. It allows your ignites to be aggravated, dealing substantially more damage. We're also introducing a suite of unique bucklers with some interesting parry mechanics. Calgyra's Arc, for example, allows you to parry projectiles from any distance.
Oh wow.
And we're also adding our first unique charms. Bayra's Anguish will not only protect you from Ignite, but will also emit a devastating Fire Nova whenever you do get ignited. In sum, there's just a ton of new uniques to find. We can't wait to see the weird and broken builds that come out of it. Now we also want to talk about crafting options. In each major update during early access, we'll be continuing to add and improve the options here. We have various new crafting tools that have been added as rewards to many of the different types of new content that we're adding. But for now, I just want to mention the changes to runes. Runes add commonly available mods, but since they only have one tier, flat damage mods tend to get outclassed by in-game. So we've changed runes to have multiple tiers, allowing you to get higher tier mods than before.
Okay.
Our plan is to significantly expand the number of more specialized mods for crafting using socketables as we add new content over time. And the first new set of those comes from what we're talking about next. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding Asmarian Wisps, which can be found throughout both the campaign and the endgame. The Asmari spirit has made itself present in Ray class.
Patronus from Harry Potter.
And it appears to be trying to warn, or maybe prepare us for the coming darkness. You will first encounter a manifestation of it in the Grellwood in Act 1, where you'll meet Delwyn, and Asmari hunter who is trying to find out what exactly is causing the spirit to behave this way. As you approach the wisp, it will flee, leading you past monsters. Any monsters it comes into contact with are infused by it, making them more powerful. Each spirit is associated with a specific revered animal within Asmari culture. This one is a wisp of the Great Bear, and grants enemies extra life and stun. The wisp moves faster the closer you are, and as you move away, they slow down to wait for you. But if you get too far away for too long, they'll dissipate and return to the woods. As you continue to chase the wisp, it will find and possess a rare or unique monster, granting it a new powerful ability. Because this was a wisp of the Great Bear, this monster now also has increased life and stun. But on top of that, it will periodically summon a large spectral bear that slams with wild fury. If you're able to defeat this foe, you will be rewarded. For each monster that was infused and killed along the way, the rewards will be increased. Each wisp has its own mechanics. The Wisp of the Winter Owl is a primal wisp that causes enemies to deal extra cold damage, gain energy shield, and release wind vortices on death. When infusing a monster, they will call down large tornadoes to protect their host. The Wisp of the Wild Cat is a vivid wisp that causes affected monsters to deal more critical strikes and become more evasive. When it infuses a monster, it will summon a barrage of feline spirits that will attempt to tear you limb from limb. If you're lucky, you may even find sacred wisps that can do some pretty crazy things to the monsters they influence. Like the Wisp of the Cunning Fox, which turns normal monsters into magics, magic monsters into rares, and rare monsters into actual bosses.
Oh man. Oh man. Diablo 4 is completely outclassed, man. Can we just time travel to April 4th now?
Asmarian wisps can...
Let's see. Talisman. Boots hit against you have 10% reduced critical damage. Boar gloves gain 1 rage. And body armor's corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you.
Drop a new set of socketable items that allow you to craft a wide range of interesting new mods onto your items. Each one may only be used on a specific item slot.
Okay.
As mentioned, the Asmarian wisps can be encountered throughout the game, but there's also a new endgame map called the Asmari Ranges, a mountain village where the Asmari once lived, now overrun with corrupt monsters. This map always has multiple Asmarian wisps in it, and familiar, yet not quite the same boss fight.
That's pretty cool.
Asmarian wisps can also be further modified by the endgame atlas tree as well, and by tablets.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be the one talking about those things. In order to cover all the new content in in-game, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi.
So we're 22 minutes in. All of the things they've talked about so far are peak gaming, just period. Peak gaming right there. And we haven't even gotten into the late game stuff. any of it, or I want to say most of it, right? Some of these do go into it, but we're barely getting into it, and we have already have so much information, so much to look forward to. I can't wait. This is amazing.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. There's a ton to talk about with the endgame today, so let's dig right in. Path of Exile 2's early access began with a brand new endgame, and it was clear that it needed a lot of work. After absorbing your feedback, we're ready to make some epic changes. The first thing is, we just need a lot more content. In Dawn of the Hunt, we have made sure to focus on increasing the sheer number of interesting and different encounters you will randomly stumble into as you explore the endgame. And the second goal is to smoothen the progression through maps and reduce the amount of annoying busy work.
Enough said. I mean, just end it here.
To start with, let's talk about the new interesting stuff to find. Well, the most obvious thing to add are new maps. As well as the Azmeri ranges that Jonathan mentioned earlier, Dawn of the Hunt also contains 7 other new maps, all with their own custom encounters.
Okay.
Let's start with this one. The Feral Megaliths map starts off in the wild Ezomite forests. As you progress through the forest, you will find mysterious rune-carved stones that, when touched, surge with energy. After activating all the stones, you can find a grand henge, where all the energy is coalescing. You can then start an encounter. The area darkens, a storm moves in, and a concentration of energy summons a dangerous boss.
Okay.
You must fight and defeat the boss to get its rewards.
Makes sense.
Once you have defeated it, summon another. And another. And another. And another. You have 10 total waves of boss fights which get incrementally more difficult. If you manage to defeat them, you get full boss rewards, but also opportunities to get new runes. These can
10 boss fights in a single map? This is freaking insane. Oh my god, that is amazing.
only be obtained from this map. The Fractured Lake contains a surreal waterscape with fractured mirror-like objects.
Oh, that's nice.
As you move around the map, the terrain itself elevates from below, creating the ground you walk on. In this unique map, all the rare monsters are mirrored, so you're always fighting two of the same rare at the same time, which can prove quite difficult.
Visually, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful map. The concept is awesome. And then you're fighting two rares at the same time. This is really cool.
If you manage to overcome that challenge and make it to the end of the map, you'll be presented with a broken mirror, a powerful altar-like object that contains an item within it.
Eagle Locket Gloam Amulet. -1 prefix modifier allowed. +1 suffix modifier allowed. +3 level of all minion skills. Oh shit. 31 increased armor. 23. Holy shit.
The item contained within is a new base type, either an amulet or a ring.
Okay.
That can be crafted to have additional prefixes or suffixes at the cost of the other. The last unique map we'll show today is one based around the essence mechanic. You enter a crystalline cavern, and you will find a powerful map boss imprisoned in the center. It is surrounded by many rare monsters, also imprisoned in essences. By freeing and defeating the rare monsters, the essence they held will be upgraded to a greater essence, and be added to the imprisoned map boss. How brave are you? How many essences will you add to the boss? Overdo it, and you might lose everything. Underdo it, and you might regret it. It's your choice.
Goddamn.
Speaking of essences, alongside visual improvements, you're now able to apply Vaal Orbs to corrupt the essences, with a range of unpredictable outcomes.
Oh shit.
It could increase the number of essences, re-roll all the essences to the same type, or even upgrade the essences to greater essences. What if they're already greater essences? Well, it can upgrade those too.
Of course. Why wouldn't you be able to upgrade them more?
We have 4 new corrupted essences.
Oh shit.
Essence of Hysteria, Delirium, Horror, and Insanity. Each corrupted essence has its own interesting combat mechanics. For example, The essence of insanity causes you to question even your own mind, as monsters split into shadowy clones, and you must locate the real one before a devastating icy explosion freezes everything around it.
Oh shit.
Each of these has their own crafting outcomes. The essence of insanity can be applied to a belt. It adds a mod that will ensure the next Varlorb used on the belt will guarantee adding 2 enchantments.
Oh wow. Wow, that's actually pretty cool.
It's worth noting all the essences in the unique map can also be corrupted too. If you're willing to risk it, it's
Risk it for the biscuit.
worth noting we have also added 10 extra Atlas passive points you can earn by completing 5 different unique maps.
Okay.
Now, new maps are just the beginning. We had a goal where we wanted to make sure you were constantly finding exciting new content, and that it could be lurking around any corner. So, we have added a bunch of new things that you could stumble into in any map you run. On your track,
I mean, they look sick. This looks badass. This looks so good. So good.
travels you will sometimes encounter rogue exiles. Others like you who have been exiled and are openly hostile. Some are malicious, some are mad, while others are simply fiends for loot. They will challenge you, a fight to the death. They use the same skills available to players, and even the same items. They aren't just dressed up in those items, they're actually using them. It's going to feel like a true player versus player situation.
Oh, fuck. This is freaking amazing.
Of course, if you are able to slay these exiles, those items will all drop on the ground. So if you encounter an exile using a powerful or valuable unique item, which you can see displayed under their life bar, you want to be damn sure you kill them. Because if they kill you and your party, they'll portal out taking their items with them. Every fight will feel completely different depending on the items they come equipped with. These exiles are much smarter than your regular monster. They have capabilities to dodge roll, avoid your abilities with smart pathfinding, smart targeting, and much more action-packed gameplay. Fortunately, they're like you and they're not super durable. Unless of course they're wearing uniques like Helm's Heart, in which case expect a longer battle. There are 12 different rogue exiles you can find, each with their own skills and personalities.
Man. Oh man. Am I ready to play this now?
Some may insult you, while others may admire your honor in combat. Another encounter you might stumble onto in Dawn of the Hunt are one of 4 new unique strongboxes. Strongboxes are chests with modifiers. When you try to open them, they activate traps and spawn waves of monsters that you must defeat to access the loot. Let's take a look at 2 of the new unique boxes that are harder to find and behave just a little bit differently. The Ogham's Legacy Strongbox has a corpse splayed out in front of the rune-carved stone. Upon interacting with the stone, you activate Forbidden Ezomite magic, which revives the monster as a powerful rare. The Strongbox comes with a modifier which determines how many times it will revive that rare.
Okay, so it tells you that it revives a fallen monster 5 times. Fallen monsters gains an additional modifier each time it revives. Contains no other items. Okay.
Each time you defeat the monstrosity, the Strongbox revives it again, adding an extra modifier to the monster. With each resurrection, it becomes more difficult, but also more rewarding.
So, periodic lightning explosions, extra chaos, damage, reviving minions, extra crits, explodes nearby corpses. Oh shit.
This Strongbox is infused with thaumaturgy from ancient
31, guarded by 31 packs of monsters. Oh shit.
technology. Eshell's Torment has a powerful artifact inside, and is guarded by chaos itself. Defeating the monsters will grant you a unique item, with a specific corrupted outcome. You'll have to
Is this a mob or what is this?
find the other 2 for yourself.
Oh no,
to
those are
see
the
what they
chests.
do.
Oh shit, those are the chests. That's pretty
Now,
cool.
Let's talk about the introduction to the endgame. Upon starting the endgame, Doriani tasks you with cleansing corruption to help restore the land. However, in practice, the quest objective just sent you on a grind to clear 15 maps. We wanted to make the quest to unlock your Atlas passives much more interesting. Now, Doriani is tasking you with a more specific objective.
Okay.
On the Atlas, you will find areas of corruption caused by the beast. In the center of each one, you will find a corrupted nexus, the source of the affliction. In the areas leading up to the nexus, you will notice that corruption spills out from slain enemies and amalgamates into powerful monsters. Corrupted maps existed on the Atlas before, but we've done significant work on improving these monsters. We've also done a full pass on the modifiers on these maps to make them more interesting and more rewarding. Once you reach the Nexus, you will have a new task: cleanse the source of corruption. When you defeat the last rare in those maps, they will spawn one of 3 terrifying bosses, amalgamations of corruption itself. After defeating that boss, Doriani will come and cleanse the corruption for good. As the remains of the boss are purged of corruption, it coalesces into raw crystallized power, which you can use to gain points for your Atlas passive skill tree. The upgrade system that allows you to add and enhance content in your maps. We didn't stop there though. When you complete a corrupted nexus, all of the remaining surrounding corrupted maps will become cleansed maps. Cleansed maps also have new monsters, a new boss, and their own set of modifiers and rewards.
So once you finish the end game content, don't worry, there's more end game content,
Including finding fracturing orbs by slaying cleansed enemies. These orbs can be used in crafting on a rare item to cause
fracture a random modifier on a rare item with at least 4 modifiers, locking it in place.
one of its modifiers to become.
Okay, hold on. Right before you use that, I want to see what it said.
These orbs can be used in crafting on a rare item to cause one of its.
Okay, so we have 13 spirit, 11 increased armor, 3 plus to the level of all minion skills, 25 increased cast speed, 16 intelligence. Okay,
Modifiers to become
so 3 to all minion skills is
fractured. A fractured modifier is one that cannot be modified by any means. You are able to freely modify the item, ensuring the fractured modifier will never change.
that's awesome.
If you get the right item with the right mod, it can prove to be a very powerful crafting base indeed.
Oh yeah, that's freaking amazing. That, oh my god, yes.
You must now choose. Do you complete all the corrupted maps and then the Nexus?
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah.
maybe you beeline to the Nexus, complete it, and do all the remaining maps cleansed. Both have rewards to entice you and challenges to assess.
Just do all the content. That's the point. Just do all the content.
Now, let's have a talk about towers. One thing we've had a lot of feedback on is the busy work around running towers and managing your tablets. The first change we've made here is that we have reduced the number of towers drastically. So there are now 1/3 as many as before, but we've made them much more powerful.
Okay.
To start with, tablets now inherently add twice as many mechanics. But that's not all. Running higher tier maps and towers now increases the number of mechanics applied by tablets. By tier 15, the bonus is double, allowing a single tablet to now add 4 times as many mechanics as before.
Man.
So, we're running far fewer towers, dealing with fewer tablets, and affecting even more maps than before. But because there are fewer towers overlapping with each other, you won't get as many opportunities to stack different tablets. In order to solve this, we've made it so that each tower can consume up to 3 tablets at once. You always get 1 slot on completing the tower, but if you can complete a tower with more mods on the waystone, you can unlock a 2nd or 3rd slot. Overall, this allows for even more juicing from towers, while drastically reducing the amount of busy work you have to do. On top of that, towers are much more interesting maps because they can now spawn with all mechanics, including bosses. Each tower map has a new boss. Let's take a look at a couple here.
Okay.
The boss fight of the Alpine Ridge map has 2 powerful witches contesting for territory. One witch has an affinity for ice.
Does anybody get the vibes of Voldemort versus Harry Potter?
The other, fire. Who will win? Hopefully neither. The boss of the Sinking Spire map is a remnant of the Val that has been charged with lightning. It uses a full suite of lightning abilities. But be careful. If any of them hit the surrounding constructs, they will power up.
Another thing that we've
that's
seen
cool.
a lot of feedback about is sustaining waystones. As we looked into it, we realized that the people who couldn't sustain waystones were dying a lot. A lot more than we had expected. And that made us realize something. During the campaign, the expectation is that you can die multiple times in order to learn how to overcome challenges. You are able to learn how the monsters behave, adapt to their skills, and eventually overcome them. But as soon as you get to the end game, you're effectively no longer allowed to die if you want to sustain waystones.
Okay.
By the time you are getting towards the end of endgame, we want you to have to be careful not to die. But it certainly shouldn't be that we have such a sudden shift as you run your first maps.
Ooh.
The first change we're making is you can now respawn and return to a map if you die,
Okay.
continuing from where you left off.
Oh, nice.
When you
Nice.
start the endgame, you get up to 6 total attempts per map.
Okay.
As you add more modifiers to a waystone, the number of respawns goes down. This means that as you get to the point that you're running every waystone as a rare, you will have to be more careful.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like they should at least give you 2. I feel more comfortable 3 tries on the rare maps. But at least 2. I would be happy with 2. At least if you go in the first time and you're like, okay, you know, I misclicked or whatever, and you have one more chance. I think they should at least give you 2, but I feel more comfortable if they gave us 3. I think that going down to 1 chance, not fair. No.
In parties, everyone gets to respawn that number of times. But we still think it's important that you can kill a boss in one go. In order to allow that to happen, we've made a change so that once you start the boss fight, it changes over to the same respawning system we use for pinnacle bosses. This means that the map owner can choose to respawn everyone at the same time.
Okay.
Another complaint we've seen a lot of is players not wanting to do the pinnacle content because of the experience penalty from dying. A change we've made here is that all pinnacle content now no longer grants experience, but also no longer removes experience on death either. Dawn of the Hunt also brings the first batch of Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs. These keys contain items selected by our supporters. They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2.
Okay.
If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be able to provide these items. For example, Hand of Wisdom in action can only come from a key dropped by Zesht. We're also making a change that allows pinnacle boss uniques to drop at any difficulty. Rarer uniques will be rarer at lower difficulties, but still possible to find. This applies to the drop chances for the reliquary keys from this content as well.
Okay.
We spoke about towers and tablets earlier, but we have also added a suite of unique tablets.
Okay.
Each of these adds crazy interactions to the maps influenced by it. For example, this unique tablet allows you to run any map in a tower's radius without requiring connections, which can be quite useful for jumping gaps and traveling around your atlas.
Okay, that's cool.
And this tablet causes all runic monsters spawned during expedition encounters to be duplicated, and weakens all expedition monsters that emerge from the ground. The Atlas tree has also been expanded, and you can find many of the new mechanics there, and improvements to existing ones too.
Wow.
Now through this livestream we have mentioned quite a few new crafting options that we've added. New runes, corrupted essences, fractured mods and jewelry crafting bases. But we did have just one more crafting system to talk about. Recombination. Expedition was the only in-game mechanic that was lacking a crafting system, so that needed to change. Recombination is a mechanic that might be familiar to some players. It allows you to merge 2 items together,
hoping to get the best elements of each on a single new item. This new crafting bench will be unlocked as you complete your first expedition.
That's pretty cool.
And requires artifacts found during expeditions to fuel it.
I mean, it's a cool mechanic. If you have similar items that you want to combine into one, it's pretty cool.
The rarer the mods on the item you are combining, the more expensive the cost.
Ooh.
That wraps up all the major in-game changes we're talking about today. With all the system changes and new content, we can't wait to get in there, start blasting maps, and obliterating monsters. There is one more thing we wanted to clarify before we move on, which is that all the content we've talked about today will be made available in the existing early access leagues, so you can play your existing characters.
Oh, okay.
However, there will be new leagues made for those who wish to start in a fresh economy. It is recommended to start over and get the full new experience in the Dawn of the Hunt leagues.
For all our existing early access players, we're really looking forward to joining you playing in this new update. For those who don't already have access and are interested in playing Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, you are able to at any time purchase an early access supporter pack at www.pathofexile2.com. Additionally, the Paladin and Penance supporter packs are now available to purchase in Path of Exile 2 and contain 6 microtransactions each and the full pack's face value in points. All the
Very nice.
microtransactions contained within these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
Oh, why do we have to wait till April 4th to play this? Oh my god. This is amazing. And I can't wait to play this. You don't understand how excited I am to try this out. I cannot recommend POE2 enough. I have been trying for a couple months trying to get my cousins to play. They haven't joined yet, but I hope that they will join soon. But yeah, that's, Dawn of the Hunt content reveal coming out April 4th. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am, because I am very excited for this. So I look forward to seeing you guys out there.